My dear students, today I am going to discuss a new topic, new chapter from the macroeconomics, and its name is aggregate demand and related concepts. So first of all, one term we will try to understand what is aggregate demand. Aggregate means as a whole, means it is the demand of whole economy, not a particular group or the society. So on that basis, we can say aggregate demand refers that the total value of final goods. Listen carefully. The total value of final goods which all sectors of the economy are planning to purchase, or they are ready to spend their money in a given period of time, okay, so that they can utilize the goods. In a simple words, we can say it is the planned expenditure of all sectors of the economy in a given period of time. So we can say aggregate demand always explain planned expenditure. That is the most important. Planned expenditure. Not, that is the most important, not actual expenditure. Okay, so it is a planned expenditure. They are ready to plan. First thing. Second thing is that aggregate demand and market demand. AD and market demand. Market demand. Both are different. Market demand is related to a particular commodity, Is it clear? Whereas aggregate demand is the value of all total final goods. This is the difference. So AD means value of all total final goods, whereas market demand is related to a particular commodity. So both are the different things. Always keep it in your mind. Second, aggregate demand is a planned expenditure of whom? That is the all sectors of economy. Okay, so here it is the planned expenditure which are ready to spend their money by all sectors of the economy in an accounting year, or you can say in a given period of time. So it is not necessary that in a year, in a given period of time. Okay, and that is known as AD. So here all sector means there are three sectors: primary, secondary and tertiary. So all the people are ready to spend their money, or they are planned to spend their money to fulfill their needs at a given period of time. Okay, now come to the components of aggregate demands. So what are the components of aggregate demand? Okay, so first, that is the component of AD, aggregate demand. First, household consumption expenditure. Household consumption expenditure. Second, private investment expenditure. Third, government consumption and investment expenditure. Fourth, net export. Net export. So it is denoted by C, it is denoted by I, it is denoted by G, and it is denoted by X minus M. So we can say that there are four components of aggregate demand. So AD is equal to C plus I plus G plus X minus M. So this is the component of aggregate demand. Now first come, what is household consumption expenditure? It is the total expenditure which is incurred by the household in an accounting year or in a given period of time. So it always indicates disposable income. Disposable income. Okay? So disposable income is that income which is kept for expend. It is very easy to understand. So disposable income is that income which is kept for expenditure. So higher the disposable income, higher will be consumption expenditure of the household, and lower the disposable income, lower will be the consumption expenditure of household. Okay? Now, that is the private investment. This is the most important term. Private investment expenditure. So investment is basically done by the producers. Is it clear? They are ready to expend their money only to addition of stock. Addition of capital stock or capital goods. So we can say private investment expenditure refers a situation in which all the industrialists are ready to incur their capital only to increase the capital stock, such as building, machinery, equipments, etc. Next is the government consumption expenditure. So government does two kinds of work. One, consumption expenditure means for social welfare. Social welfare. Is it clear? And investment expenditure to generate income. To generate income. So, to fulfill the needs of common people, the government is ready to incur his expenditure. Okay, so it may be for the social welfare or for the addition of capital stock or to generate the income. So, and next is the net export, that is the export minus imports. So whatever the production will be done, it is not consumed by the domestic people. Some part of it is also export to the rest of the world. And whatever the requirements we have, we are also imports the goods from the rest of the world. So the difference between the export and import is known as net export. So basically these are the four main components of aggregate demand. But in the standard 12 we have to study only the two components. Another two components will be studied in the higher classes. So here we will explain only AD is equal to C plus I. So how it works? Now, so here there are two components, that is the C plus I, means household consumption expenditure and private investment expenditure is taken only to indicate AD. So how it works, it can be explained with the help of a small schedule. First of all, suppose Y, that is the national income. It is not the income of individual, but it is the income of a nation. Next is the C, that is the consumption expenditure, and I, that is the investment expenditure which is done by the government, not the private sector. Okay, so this investment is also considered as autonomous investment. Is it clear? So autonomous investment is that investment which will remain constant at all level of income. So we can say autonomous investment is income inelastic. This investment is done by the government only for social welfare, not to generate further income. So here we are going to take autonomous investment. When income is equal to zero in the economy, consumption will never zero. Why? Because if the consumption will become zero, a human person can't survive. So for the survival of the life, they are ready to consume something. Okay, and that is known as minimum consumption level, or another term we can say that is the autonomous consumption. Okay, so when income is equal to zero, let consumption is equal to 50 crores in the economy, investment is also 50 crore. When the income increases from 50, consumption also increases, suppose 75, but the investment will remain constant. So next, if the income increases 100, so consumption has also increased 100, but the investment is 50. So if the income has increased 150 crores, suppose, so the consumption in the economy has increased from 100 to 125 crores, but the investment is constant. Next, that is if the income has increased up to 200 crores and the consumption has also increased up to suppose 150 crores, but the investment is constant. So what you find? You find two things. Here first, when income is zero, consumption is something that is known as autonomous consumption. When Y is equal to 0 and C is equal to something, it is known as autonomous consumption, which is denoted by C bar. Clear? Now, second, as the income is increasing, consumption is also increasing. Okay? But a place has come where income and consumption both are equal. So C is equals to Y. C is equals to Y, that is known as break-even point. It is known as break-even point. So what do you find? Before the break-even point, consumption is greater than income. But after the break-even point, the consumption is low and the income is high. So it indicates that at a particular level of income, a part of their income is saved by the people. And that's why, no doubt, consumption increases, but in respect of income, it does not increases. Okay? So this is the basic phenomena. Now, come to the next point, that is our topic. Our topic is aggregate demand, and we know that AD is always equals to C plus I, because only we will take the two components to explain this theory. So here C is 50 and it is I, that is 50. So at zero level of income, aggregate demand is 100. Next, at 50 crores, if the income is 50 crores, but our aggregate demand is 125 crore. So in this way, 150 crore, 175 crores, and it has become 200 crores. Clear? So AD is continuously rising, aggregate demand is continuously rising, because I have already explained that all the sectors of the economy are planning to spend their money at the given level of income in a given period of time. So that is the definition, and accordingly it is working. Okay? So it can be also explained with the help of following diagram. Okay? So there are two axes, one is the X and other is Y. This is the zero, that is the origin. On the X-axis, what is given? Income. Income is given. On the Y-axis, that is the AD, that is given, and we can say C plus I. Okay? Suppose our income is 0, 50, 100, 150, 200, 250 and 300. Okay, that is our income, that is given, and aggregate demand is also given. Suppose 25, next 50, next 75, next 100, next 125, next 150, next 175, next 200, next 225 and so on. So first I am going to draw the investment situation. Okay, so at all level of income, our investment is constant, that is 50. So at zero level of income, that is 50. Next again 50. Next again 50. So in this way, investment line is a straight line parallel to X-axis, and due to that it is known as autonomous investment. Clear? Now come to the C. When income is equal to 0, consumption is equal to 50. So income is equal to 0, consumption is also 50. Okay? When income is 50, consumption is 75. So suppose this is here. Next, when income is equal to 100, consumption is also 100. Okay? So in this way, what you find? You find that as the income is increasing, consumption is also increasing. So consumption curve is moving upwards, that is the C. But this level of consumption is denoted by C bar because it is known as the autonomous consumption or the minimum consumption level for the survival of the life. Now come to the AD, that is the combination of C plus I. When income is equal to 0, our AD is 100. When income is 50, that is 125. When income is 150, 0, that is 50, this is 100, then it is 150. Okay, like that AD is also continuously rising. AD, that is C plus I. Is it clear? So the difference between the investment will always equals to the difference between the C and AD, and C and AD will always move in the same direction, and the gap between C and AD is always equals to investment. Okay, so in this way we can say aggregate demand never starts from 0. Consumption never starts from 0 because consumption will never 0, and AD always moves upwards because income is continuously rising. Clear? So in this way, this concept, I hope you are able to understand. And another related concept, that is the C plus I, we have also cleared it. Okay, thank you students.